What is up, everybody? Jaco here today. Today, as you guys can see by the title, today was the worst of the worst. And it happened again. So before I get into this story, listen to this commercial break. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I actually sold my Corvette on Wednesday, and I decided to let it go for $80,000, and I bought it for $91,700 plus tax and all those other fees. So I lost quite a bit of money. However, the market of vehicles, especially electric vehicles, has been going down substantially. So every single month that I own my Corvette, it is going down about $1,500. So I said to myself, look, I'm paying a lot per month for it. I'm paying for a lot of gas, and I'm paying a lot for insurance. So recently my income has just been really, really bad, primarily because I'm in a relationship, so it's taking away from my work. I'm not doing as much custom content. So I said to myself, like, look, you just don't deserve this right now. But I do have future plans to get something even better, but realistically, I don't deserve it. So I'm not buying another one anytime soon. And then on top of that, if this is just a regular C8 Z51 3LT, but you know, they have the Z06 now, they have the E-Ray. A year ago, the Z06 was going for $100,000 over MSRP. Now you can buy them in MSRP. You can get the E-Ray pretty close to MSRP. And I say in the next year, the Z06s and both the E-Rays, you're going to be able to buy used for 10, 15, 20,000 less than MSRP. I mean, look at my C8. I sold it 10,000 less, and it only had 5,000, almost 6,000 miles on it. But I had my fun with it. I don't think I was utilizing as much of both my vehicles, because I do have a 24 Sonata Hybrid Limited that gets 40 to 50 miles a gallon all the time. So that's more important to me. All right, you didn't come here to listen to me tell you that I sold my Corvette. You came here because you're wondering about the title that's listed. So I'll tell you about today, and then I'll tell you the story. Let's rewind just a little bit. Okay. So when I put my car up for sale, I had a woman reach out to me, and I have her information from her Facebook and this guy's number. So this woman reaches out. She's like, hey, I work for this guy who lives in New York, and this is the dealership that I work out, and he's the owner. He's interested in buying your car for X amount of money. I said, no, that's too little. So then she said, okay, we're not really making money on this, but we're willing to do this because it's involving a third party. So she starts asking me for like a picture of my license and a picture of the title to prove I own the vehicle. I said, that's not something I really feel comfortable with just giving over like Messenger on Facebook. Who's your boss? What's his number? I'll speak to him on the phone. I speak to this guy on the phone. He said his name was Martin, and Martin sounded very professional. So I said to Martin, well, Martin explained to me, he's like, look, we're not making money on this deal. I do sell cars all the time. I sell Ferraris, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And I'm just buying it to help another client out who wants your specific spec of Corvette. So I was like, okay, Martin sounds pretty professional. I'll send him over my information. And then I said to Martin, Martin, send me a picture of your license and your information of your dealership. He says, okay, I'll have my assistant email all over. So I ended up sending a picture of my license and my title. I know. Huge mistake. Should have covered information. Might not even have sent it, but I did. And so I never got an email back. And I reached out to the woman who never got back to me. I called up the phone number, which wasn't answering my phone calls. And then I said to myself, this is weird, but I just said, okay, maybe they're not interested. I don't know. A few days later, I get a message, and someone says, there's somebody selling your car, representing you as you. And I said, can you send me the pictures? And this guy sends me pictures of a man who was talking to him, sending my picture of my ID and my title. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, originally, when this first happened, when that happened, I called the police. And after talking to the police, they didn't really do anything. They just said, keep all this as evidence just in case somebody actually buys your car. Okay. I did not think someone was going to buy the car. and show up at my house. Boy, was I wrong. So, the police, which I found out today, who showed up that first time, didn't even file the report. So, it's not even acknowledged. There was not even a report. So, month or two passed by. You know, I have a few people reach out to me. Hey, look, someone's pretending to be you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do me a favor, please report the Facebook profile. Okay. So, the beginning of May, I think it was like May 8th, I was at the pool with my daughter, and I get an alert on my camera that somebody's ringing my doorbell. And the guy's like, hey, with a tow truck, a complete tow truck. And he's like, hey, I'm here to pick up the Corvette. I'm like, first of all, I never sold my Corvette, but you can come to the pool and we can talk. So apparently this guy is friends with the person who got scammed and purchased the vehicle, and he was going to pick up the vehicle. And I pretty much explained to him the whole situation. I even talked to the man who bought the car on the phone, and he was just like flabbergasted, starts like asking me a bunch of questions. And then he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I got scammed. And, you know, just a bunch of questions. And I said, hey, I filed this with the police. You can look into it. Realistically, the police never even filed it. But I said, you need to track the money. You need to call the police, and you need to investigate where your money went to. So evidently, the guy eventually left. And this was, I think he was in Fort Lauderdale or something, so it wasn't that far away. So that situation, you know, afterwards, he got my number. He started asking me a bunch of questions. I answered his questions the best of my ability as possible, but there was nothing that I could do for him. And I still owned the vehicle at the time. This is before I sold it. But I'm like, I don't know how much money he transferred. But after the second situation, which I'm about to tell you, these people need to see the red flags, because this is crazy, because both of these two people that got scammed are both claiming that they buy and sell cars all the time. So keep in mind, I understand these people are victims and I'm not making fun of them. I literally helped out this person today, and I'll tell you that story. So today I get done from the gym with my girlfriend, and a car pulls up to the front of my house, and a guy gets out. He ended up being 23 years old, he told me. And he's like, hey, are you this? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I bought your Corvette from you. I'm here to pick it up. So this happened today. And I said to him, I said, dude, you got scammed. And today was one of the hottest days in Florida. It was 100 degrees today at one point. And so he's outside, he's talking to me. He's like, what do you mean? I start explaining to him the story. And I start walking him into the garage just because it's so hot. And he says, I think I'm fainting. And he ends up fainting. And I'm trying to like carry him onto a chair. And he literally like falls into the floor, and I have to hold all his, well, he didn't fall to the floor. I caught him before he fell to the floor. And I put him to the side, got him some water, and we had a discussion. I said, would you like me to call the police? So I ended up calling the police, and they asked me if they need a medic. And then I said, bro, do you need a medic? He's like, no, I'm okay. I just needed some water. I needed to relax. And he's just freaking out because he can't believe he got scammed. And I said, where did you come from? He said, like, Nebraska. He said he flew here from Nebraska to pick up the car. And he wired $60,000 for the car. I don't know if it was 60 or 70,000. I think it was 60,000. But still. So I called the police. Police actually told me that they heard about this because someone else called up about it, but it wasn't the person who got scammed first. So I don't know who else this happened to, but I specifically, when I was selling my car, I put out multiple, even on my ad, I said there's a fake ad. I went on to multiple Corvette forums saying about this fake person. I made a YouTube video on my regular personal channel about this. So I just tried to keep people as informed as possible. And I also told people to report the post as much as possible, because this can affect me in the long run. This can get a crazy, like this guy, I told him, because he's like very grateful for my time today and that how I was legit with him and all this other stuff. I said, look, I have a daughter. Luckily, she wasn't at my house at the time, but I have a daughter. Someone could pull out a gun, a knife, anything, because they just got scammed. And they might think I have something to do with it, and I don't. And it sucks. So this person who's scamming people scammed over like $120,000, $150,000 so far. So the kid, he was 23, gave the police all the information that he had. He said, my detective will be calling you. The kid also called the bank and all this other stuff. So I'm like, y'all need to follow the money. That's what it is. But let's get to these red flags. Okay. Number one, why? What are they barking at? Sorry about that. Somebody rang my doorbell. So back to the point. Red flags. Let's talk red flags. Okay. Number one, why would you give somebody money before actually seeing a car? And especially a used car. Red flag number one. Red flag number two, why would you transfer money to an account not in the person's name who's on the title and the license that they gave you? Number three, why would you not ask for a person to take a picture with their license before you trusted them? That doesn't make sense to me. So those are just three huge red flags. And the fact that the person is not willing to meet you and show you the car before, like, I just don't get giving money of that substantial lump sum before actually seeing the car. Now, keep in mind, I did this when I was younger. However, it was through eBay. So that being said, I bought a vehicle from another state. I gave eBay the money, and when I got the vehicle, they released the money to the seller. That makes more sense, which I still wouldn't do to this day. Like, I wouldn't do that again. I would definitely fly, see the vehicle, drive it back, or then ship it from there. Even shipping the vehicle to my house, I was very skeptical, and I was 18 years old at the time. We're 19. So, yeah, I think I was 19. But still, this, like, he's like, this is a huge lesson learned for me. And I was talking to him very nicely and politely and respectfully, and I'm just like, bro, I know you're the victim, but you literally ignored all the red flags and got scammed. So, don't want to make this video too long. This sucks. I'm trying to figure it out. I should probably call Facebook Marketplace, but obviously he can still post it wherever he wants. He can still post it in forums. It's not going to stop it. So this person's using all the pictures of the Corvette, pictures of me and my daughter, and my license and my title, again, which is my mistake for even sending it. So that's a lesson learned on my behalf for sure. But, you know, there's not much else I can do. You know, I made sure this guy got some air. I make sure I waited for him and helped him get to his Uber, and now he has to go home. Maybe he's in a hotel. I'm not sure. Like, I feel bad, but at the same time, you know, he's like, I dropped out of high school. I started selling cars and buying cars and blah, 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 but you just got scammed. So it sucks. It really does. And I wish the best for them, and I hope they get some resolution. I think the way that this will end is the person who bought my car, if they register the car in their name and somebody looks up the Carfax or the owner of the vehicle, that would come up. But this guy just has a picture of the title and a picture of my license. Why would you fall for that? So, sucks, but Jake, have a good day, everybody. Peace.